Hi, this is Steve Holtz for CSP TV. I am at Sigma's annual meeting in New Orleans, where gasoline markers are, in general, dismayed and concerned about the re-election of President Barack Obama. Just yesterday, I talked with some of the members here to get their reaction.
We're really concerned about additional regulations coming from what is considered a new mandate by the federal government. So that's really our biggest concern. Additional regulation, basically unrepresented regulation, is one we have a big concern on.
Well, let me just say I was so down this morning. What I think is it's exactly what we just heard the senator say. It's continued status quo, and unfortunately what that means is continued uncertainty and regulation for us. Obamacare is a big deal, and I think there's a lot of wait and see in terms of understanding it until we knew that it was here. It's here, and at the end of the day, it might actually make more sense to let people go and close down a few stores and have to, and then trying to comply with Obamacare. And that's the reality for any small business, including ours.
The past 2 years, we've heard a lot about businesses not being willing to invest because they didn't know what the future was going to hold. Does that change after yesterday?
No, I think that's what the talk continues to be around here, which is, and it's huge. It's hard to justify going and committing $4 million+ to a new site when you don't know what's coming down the pipeline next.
I think the biggest concern for the industry is that we will continue to regulate through committees and entities such as the National Labor Relations Board. I think for Congress and for the President, unfortunately, we're probably looking at some more gridlock because we didn't have significant changes in the House and Senate. So the real fear is as we begin to implement things like our health care reform, a lot of that is going to be left up to being regulated by the various sub-entities and the regulators. And really the fear of the unknown is what faces the industry now. Because we don't know who is going to call some of those shots, and that will leave really legal recourse as the only means of addressing some of that.
We will survive. The country will survive. Who knows? There's probably a blessing somewhere in there, but I just refuse to be pessimistic about it.
Are there particular issues that you think will arise over the next 4 years for the industry?
Oh, God, yeah. Most people are worried about fracking and regulations on fracking, Keystone, the whole litany. The common knowledge stuff everyone's deeply worried about.
You mentioned that with Obama getting reelected, you expect a tsunami of regulations to come down the pike. Can you expand on that, please?
Sure, Steve. The reason I expect a tsunami is for the last 7-8 months, the administration has held up almost anything that's quasi-controversial in the regulatory process. I anticipate that all of those little disputes are about to be resolved. Somewhere in the next 4 months, the Office of Management and Budget and the agencies, which have been sitting on proposed regulations, are going to start issuing those regulations, and people will have to start to adjust. All of the political risk for the administration is now removed. So that's what's going to happen. They will pursue the agenda that they've had, and I expect that to be aggressive.
Do you have any examples?
Almost everything. I mean, look, the health care rules, for example. HHS has dozens of sets of regulations that they're going to have to issue. Nobody's been doing that because nobody wanted to take the political heat in the political season. This stuff is going to start to come out, and that can be in the environmental area, that'll be food safety area, it'll be in the regulation of tobacco, it'll be in everything these guys deal with.
So you're going to be busy?
Oh, yes. Bad for the boys, good for Tim.
There you go. All right, thanks very much. Reporting for CSP TV, I'm Steve Holtz.